Back YouTube, Rockin Aerodactyl guys, and today I'm here to show you my Houston regional team I used this year. I really hope you guys enjoy it, so stay tuned. Welcome back YouTube. Let's get right into this. So going into the tournament, I really wanted to maintain the Raichu Blaziken combo I developed for my national team. It's a really good combination. It beats a lot of common leads, so I really wanted to keep that. I wanted a Fire Water Grass core, mainly because it gives you a lot of good versatility, good switch-ins, and it's really hard for one Pokemon just to beat that team. I wanted to hard counter the meta. If you guys have seen my 2014 Houston regional team, it was an anti-meta team, as was my national team. I want to get surprise KOs, especially since this was a best of one format. I really wanted to be versatile, have a lot of good little strategies I could use, and I wanted to have almost perfect synergy. So no matter what Pokemon was out in the field, I could basically do a combination that would basically catch my opponent off guard and help me win the game. So team building, again, I looked at my national team. I wanted to base it off that since I really liked it, but the team had its flaws, so I tried to patch those up. So I began with the Raichu Blaziken combo. I kept that. For my Mega, I replaced Mega Venusaur with Salamence. I really want to keep Salamence, and I wanted to use him because he is so fast and has so much raw power and gets so many good KOs. He's great in a best of one format. I chose Rotom Wash as a bulky water type because he has access to Will-O-Wisp, and he has Discharge, which has really good usage on this team. I was weak to Charizard Y on my national team, so I wanted to use just standard Landorus to take him out. And I also needed a grass type to finish the Fire Water Grass core, and I needed a good switch into Hyper Voices from Gardevoir and Sylveon, so I ended up going with Ferrothorn. So let's look at the team. This is the same Blaziken I use at Nationals, and I have a video over Blaziken, so definitely go watch that if you want in-depth detail on what he does, but I'll just really quickly tell you what he does. Overheat Okos, Aegislash, and most Sableye, as well as Amoonguss, HP Ice, Okos, Landorus, and Salamence, and then Superpower Okos, Heatran, and Kangaskhan. Now he gets a lot more KOs. This is just a very brief just summary over him. Basically, the EV spreads allows him to get a lot of KOs and allows him to outspeed a standard Scarf Landorus after one speed boost. So for the Raichu I used, this is actually almost the exact same Raichu I used at my national team once again. The only difference is being Encore over Feint. So on Raichu on this team though, he has a secondary role. He's not just supportive, and with that role, his job is mainly to redirect Thunder Waves and Thunderbolts from my Blaziken Salamence and give him a boost. Now, with Discharge and Rotom Wash, I can actually make Raichu a very offensive threat. He's very fast. He gets a lot of good KOs after one or two discharges, so he's really great. I chose Air Balloon. I wanted to keep that. While I could run Focus Session, I was debating it. I ended up going with Air Balloon mainly because I wanted good synergy with Landorus, so I could freely Earthquake. A lot of times, I would lead Raichu and Landorus, and against Sun teams, and I would feint the Charizard, which would prevent any Protects or Wide Guards from blocking my Rock Slide. So if I didn't miss Rock Slide, I would get a free KO that turn and gain a lot of momentum. Fake Out, just pretty standard, allowed me to maybe not have to protect with Blaziken turn 1 or Salamence, so I could get a KO that turn instead of having to protect and lose some momentum. So let's talk about Rotom Wash. This is a Rotom spread I developed, and I was really happy with how it turned out. So the spread allows Hydro Pump to OHKO most Landorus, except for Salt Vest, obviously. The one thing this Rotom can't die to would be a max special attack Modest, Specs, Hydreigon, Draco Meteor. But I have Landorus, Blaziken, and Salamence, so I really wasn't afraid of him. This is more bulky Rotom. I just wanted more bulky switch-ins since I feel like that's more of the meta. Also, I wanted to be able to survive a Kangaskhan's Double Edge without a Citrus Berry in case I needed to swap out the item just before the tournament. So he can actually survive a max attack Kangaskhan Double Edge before without a Citrus Berry, which is nice. Discharge is there to um, give Raichu a boost. It's also a nice, well, I wouldn't call it a form of speed control, but basically, one of the things I didn't like with this team, it didn't have any speed control. The only thing I did have was discharge, which only has a 30% chance to paralyze your opponent, so it wasn't reliable, but it was still a good move overall. And then protect was pretty standard, but overall, Rotom definitely a great player in this tournament. So let's talk about Mega Salamence. Definitely MVP of this tournament. He got so many KOs right just above Blaziken. Basically, this guy's job is to nuke everything. With max speed, with a naughty nature, he can actually still outspeed a Garchomp that is jolly at max speed. So he can still outspeed base 100s, which was very important. Double Edge can get a lot of KOs. Ichinoco, Charizard, Gardevoir, Sylveon, more semi-bulky Pokemon. Hyper Voice allows you just to get some good spread damage, maybe take out a few Focus Ashes. And Draco Meteors are there really just to take out Garchomps and Hydreigons, but really fun Pokemon to use overall. Let's talk about Ferrothorn. So what Ferrothorn does is basically, he was originally there just to be a Fairy Switch-in encounter, but I ended up making him a very important Pokemon because what he would do is basically just outstall my opponent with Leech Seed and Leftovers. I originally actually ran Leftovers over Rocky Helmet, but I mean Rocky Helmet over Leftovers, but I tried Leftovers, the Premier Challenge before it, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed just getting the constant recovery, so I ended up keeping it. Iron Barb, just pretty standard. The EVs allow you, if a Gardevoir has at least full speed IVs, you can OHKO it with Gyro Ball, even if it has max HP and defense. The defense allows you to survive a Jolly Terrakion close combat. Most Ferrothorns actually can't survive that. So I expected to see some, and there were actually some, so I was really glad I ended up doing that. And then I threw the rest in special defense. But before anyone tries to put this on Showdown and say, hey, you're missing an EV, yes, I'm well aware of that. That could not be helped without taking out the special defense investment. I really wasn't willing to do that. So I am wasting one EV, just so you'll know. And pretty standard, Protect, Leech Seed, Gyro Ball, Power Whip. But Ferrothorn, definitely a lot of fun to use. Alright, Landorus. Landorus was a really awesome Pokemon. And yes, this is a standard Landorus, but what he did was really good, especially the synergy on this team. I could use Discharge Earthquake combo, which would just devastate opponents. I could feint Rock Slide to get rid of Sun Team. So he definitely was a central component with a lot of the weird niche-y thingies. I only used him once, though, in the whole tournament. I will say that I did use him once, but the one time I did, I felt bad for my opponent. I flinched him like 3 or 4 times in a row. So Landorus was really good the one time I used him. And I didn't see too many Sun Teams. I saw more Sun Teams than the ones I faced, and there were some really good Sun Teams out there. But I only used him once, and I don't even think I faced the Charizard Y. But, so good to have him. So playing with the team, Discharge actually caught a lot of people off guard, and with a nice 30% chance to paralyze opponents, it really helped me in a lot of situations. Feint also caught a lot of people off guard, so they'd protect. I'd feint, and then like with Heat Train a lot, I would just feint Superpower. So if he protected, goodbye, Heat Train. And I was really happy with how the synergy turned out on this team. I was very, very happy about it. A lot of good combinations I could do. You have to conserve Blaziken a lot because he gets a lot of KOs. Salamence does too, but Blaziken gets specific KOs. So I had to conserve Blaziken a lot, especially because he's so frail. And I also had to protect Ferrothorn. A lot of people would use Heatran or believe it or not, I think every Salamence I faced except for one, it had Flamethrower or Fire Blast. So I had to protect Ferrothorn from Salamences a lot too. And Lightning Rod was helpful in almost every match I did. It was great for redirecting either electric type attacks or to power up and sweep. So Lightning Rod, very, very helpful on this team. As all teams have flaws, one I forgot to list actually was I don't have any reliable speed control on this team. The tooth that really wasn't my downfall though. I'd say what was my downfall the most was, or not downfall, just what hurt me the most was I had trouble sweeping against ranked teams. I ended up facing one team and was able to beat it, but it was very difficult. With Ludicolo, I do not speed it, and even if Sometimes I rely on trying to get paralysis off with discharge, so I didn't like that. Also, I can beat Cresselia, but it's not my most favorable matchup, so I was hoping not to see like that many Cresselias. I ran into like 4 or 5, so yeah, that was fun. And overall, this game was a lot of fun to use. I'll definitely be making changes in the future to help me beat Trick and Rain Teams, and Cresselia, so it's a little easier. Guys, I do hope you would try this team and tell me what you think. It's a really fun team to use, and I hope you'll tell me what you think about it. And just overall, this was my first regional as a master, and it's really cool because I get to look back. Last year, I had my first regional as a senior, and I'm looking at the teams. I'm like, oh man, how much, I used to be a terrible team builder. But you know what? I'm very satisfied with my record. I had a 5-3 record, got top 32. I actually got 32nd place. I just made it, and I was very happy. This was the first time I ever got CP at a major event, and it was as a master, so I feel pretty good about that. I did. And guys, I believe that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I am Rockin Aerodactyl. Please subscribe and leave a like. If you guys have a question, post in the comments, email me, or contact me through Twitter. And you guys have a fantastic day. God bless.